Well, your mother is an actress here, your aunt is an actress here, and like, why don't you just make a career in the Swedish film industry? And I was like, no, I love Bollywood. I want to make it in Bollywood. It's very difficult, to get to rent an apartment here because, you're a foreigner, a single girl, actress also, it's like big no. Every day I used to be like dressed in salwar kameez, and because if I would wear Western clothes, then everyone would be like, yeah, so I was like, okay then. It was like a tiny room I got where I'd like stuffed all my things in there. That room had like no AC. It became so hot, I didn't even know where to go, like what to do. So I literally started to sleep on the floor.
How difficult was it for you to come all the way from Sweden, first of all, and to a different country?
That was difficult. Now that took me it took me 3 years actually. So the thing is, it's quite funny. So I'm half Greek, and I've grown up in a very strict way, I would say. Like my father was very strict, both with me and my brother, like not allowed to go out and party, not even allowed to go out like 9 p.m. to go and watch a movie in the city. So the day when I told my friends that I'm going to move to India, they were like, wait a minute, what has happened to your dad, Elli? Like, he doesn't even allow you to go out clubbing, but he allows you to move to India. And I'm like, well, that's because I haven't made that happen. Like, literally, it took me 3 years to take this step, because I remember I was always like sitting and talking to Dad, and I was like, Dad, I want to go to India because Bollywood is like my dream. I really want to go for it.
Yeah.
And he used to be like, well, your mother is an actress here, your aunt is an actress here, and like, why don't you just make a career in the Swedish film industry? And I was like, no, I love Bollywood. I want to make it in Bollywood. And then he used to be like, yeah, okay, then don't worry, like, I'll take care of it, I'll support you and all. And when the day would come when I would be ready to leave, my father would go like, oh, with what money will you go to India? And I'm like, but Dad, you told me that you'll help me. Oh, is it? So he kind of like played that game with me. I think because he also wanted to see whether if I was just a child saying, oh, I want to go to India, Bollywood, And then I even contacted 2 family friends of ours who lives here in India. They are Indians. And I was like asking them, I'm like, if I come to India, like, can I maybe, stay at your place before I find somewhere else to stay, And they were like, yeah, sure, you can come here and we can help you around. And then I was working at a jewelry store. And what I did was I went to the bank, I opened a saving account. Another account basically where I could just put some money in there. So every time when I used to get my salary, I used to put some money aside, To
come to India.
Yes, so I saved my money, and then the day came, and
so
I sat down.
3 years to save that money.
And then I sat down with my dad, and I was like, Dad, I'm going to India. And then again the question is, oh, how will you go? And I was like, well, I have this much money, I'm gonna go and live here, and I booked this ticket. Like, I literally had like the whole plan, and I just showed him everything. And obviously he got really impressed by it. Like, obviously he was really scared because his daughter is gonna like leave the country and not really like go to the neighbor country. Like, she's gonna go all the way to India. But he was really proud that I had worked so hard to, to take myself all the way here to India. Like, I really proved him that I wanted this. So that's how it began. And I came to India, and I was living with this wonderful family who's always going to be like my Indian family here in India. Really, really sweet people who kind of like, opened their arms for me and took care of me, despite them also being like very, very orthodox. Like they're from Gujarat, and very, very orthodox, I would say. So it was still so beautiful of them, taking me as a foreigner girl, into the house, and of course I had to follow the Gharka rules.
I was coming to that. I stay in Bombay, and I've never moved. Like, I'm not from Bombay, I'm from Calcutta. I've never moved in Calcutta, and here I think in 5 years I had to move twice. How many times, especially because you're a foreigner and we read things about what happens to foreigners and people from different religions, especially when they want to rent out houses. How many difficult processes did you have to go through to get?
Oh, it's very difficult, you know, to get to rent an apartment here because, you know, you're a foreigner, a single girl, actress also, you know, it's like big no. Like it's very, very difficult. Like, you know, you find a beautiful place, you feel it's safe there, it's good there, and then, you know, you just can't stay there because they're like, no, society's gonna have a problem, I'm so sorry. And then you just have to find somewhere where they are gonna be kind of like okay with it. But what I love about my journey, like, which I've literally like not shared with anyone, I think there are maybe like 3 people maximum who knows my complete story. It's quite long. I'm going to write a book about it one day in details.
I'll read it.
But literally, you know, like when I came here and, you know, with all my respect to this wonderful Kutchi family, they're Kutchis. Yeah. I actually started to learn understand Kutchi because they were talking Kutchi every day. Yeah. You know, it was the ghar ka rules, like I said, like for example, you know, you're eating on the floor and you have to eat only with right hand, and I'm a lefty, so it was so difficult in the beginning, you know, to like break that roti with my right hand, and not allowed to drink pani while you eat the food. You know, pani, you drink it after you eat the food, like you drink it and then you do all of this kind of a thing, you know, all those kind of a things. So like, for example, during my periods, I wasn't allowed to move around or like touch anything, or I had to literally you know, take my things, go down the building, cross the road, throw it there in the big dustbin, and then kind of like wait to cross the road again and come back. Like, and I remember like some people telling me like, oh my God, how can you like live like that? Like, how can you do it? And you come from, you know, Sweden. Like when I used to tell my friends.
But it is difficult, even if you don't come from Sweden, it's difficult.
I know, but honestly,
this is too much of rules.
I know, but still, you know, I truly respect them because it was so kind of them to have me there, because I didn't know anyone here, right? Like, I didn't know anything, so I was so grateful every day that, you know, that they allowed me to stay there until I found somewhere else to live. And yeah, it was like that cozy, tiny little apartment, like me and the mother used to share the bedroom together, which had the AC. And I remember like 100 mosquitoes biting me every night, literally. Even bit my lip once, I remember that. I was like, for God's sake. Yeah, and you won't believe, like when I was living there, so I was living in Gurai. It was in Gurai. Do you even know where that is?
It's near SL World, right?
Yeah, it's like the end of it. There's nothing beyond that. I know. So I literally used to think and kind of like believe that this is Mumbai. You know, I used to be there, and every day I used to be like dressed in salwar kameez, and because if I would wear Western clothes, then everyone would be like, you know, yeah. So I was like, okay then. Like the best thing was to go to Hypercity Mall. Yeah, that was like the best thing ever. Yeah. And then finally, you know, I had fixed up a meeting with a person who kind of like works with Bollywood movies that happens in Sweden. Yeah. And that meeting was in Bandra. So when we went there, I was like, wow, you know, what is this?
A different world
What
altogether.
is this place, you know? Yeah, and then from there, you know, I got to know some other people, and then they connected me to this one girl who was living on Yari Road, and was like, you know, because they were like, honey, if you want to start working in Bollywood, you first need to move from Gurai, because nothing is going to happen. People will not even know that you exist. I was like, oh, is it? Okay, you know. So yeah, and then I met this girl, and we really like clicked, and she was like, you know what, if you want to like share the rent with me in this apartment, then like you can do it. And I was like, yeah, of course I want to like live here, like obviously, you know. So that's when kind of like my journey actually took off. So basically I have lived in 6 houses in Mumbai. And what happened was, like, when I was living with this one girl here in Andheri, she later on had to shift from there. And then I was literally like calculating my money, and I realized that I will not be able to pay the entire rent. And I didn't want to borrow money from my father. Like, I've been very clear that I want to work myself up and I want to be the only one for my career, you know. Even though of course my father could have supported me, but yeah, I didn't want that. So I understood that, okay, by the time I'm going to start to shoot for Elli AvrRam's, my first movie, I have to move and live as a paying guest somewhere. So then I had to move to Malad, and where I was living with this one girl, and it was like a tiny room I got where I'd like stuffed all my things in there. That room had like no AC. It became so hot, I didn't even know where to go, like what to do. So I literally started to sleep on the floor, just to get some, you know, thanda, cooling feeling and all. And it used to be like lizards roaming around, and it used to be like a lot of like cockroaches. Like in the kitchen, it would always be like so many cockroaches. And I actually made them my friends. Like, I literally started like in the mornings, I would enter the kitchen and I would just switch the light on, and I used to be like, "Good morning, guys." Like literally, they all used to be like this, and then they used to go like, and I used to be like, "Good morning, guys." Gosh, I remember my that time, and that was the time when I was shooting also for Elli AvrRam's, and you know, none of them knew what I was going through, like the way I was living also while, you know, shooting. So that's something I clearly remember. Oh, I also remember like when I was living in this other apartment, there was no geyser, so every morning I would always shower in ice cold water. And I used to be like, oh my God, I'm just gonna die. Like literally, like the day I got like a proper like shower with geyser and all, and where I got like garam pani, I used to be like, oh wow, this is heaven. This is so good. You know, so it's so funny like the way I've like lived so differently, like from my lifestyle, the way I've lived back home in Sweden, and how I came here and how I started, you know, living like this way, and now I live like in my own apartment, very comfortable and nice and all. But it's nice, you know, remembering those days and how crazy it was actually, but how I was just like, yeah, it's okay, because I have to go through this, because I really want to reach there.
It's nice.
Yeah, so like cockroaches is not a big deal for me now. I'm like, yeah, it's a fellow. It's a friend. Like lizards, and just if I have to sleep on the floor, it's not going to be a big deal for me. I'm going to be like, yeah, I've done that, yeah.
But at the end, you're a lovely person, and that's what matters. Thank you for sharing your story.
Thank you.
I hope.
Oh gosh, there's so much more that I can share. But for that,
You're writing a book.
Yeah, I'm definitely writing a book, because I have so many scenarios where it's like, you crazy girl, that could have gone really wrong. Yeah.